Welcome back to the video lecture on the computer graphics. Today we'll study a slightly different topic known as curve and surfaces. Now curve and surfaces plays a very important role in computer graphics. To draw some complex object, we always need some curve and surfaces because the complex object cannot be drawn with the flat lines and circles. As we studied in first unit that there are some line drawing and circle drawing algorithms. They are not sufficient to draw the complex object. So today's lecture is dedicated to the concept of curve and surfaces. Today we'll study a curve that is known as the Bezier curve. But before studying the curve, we have to study the types of the curve, how many types of curves there are in the computer graphics. The first one is the implicit curve. In the implicit curve, the curve passes through the given points. Let's suppose you have given some points to draw a curve, then it is necessary that the point passes through the curve passes through all the points. So for example, when you write a circle equation, then x square plus y square minus r square is equals to 0. This is known as the implicit curve equation. Again, the second curve is the explicit curve. In explicit curve, the curve do not passes through the given points, all the given points, but it passes through some of the points, but it do not passes through some other points. Here what we do, we approximate the curve such that the error is minimized. And the error can be measured with some distance. This distance can be your Manhattan distance. This distance can be your Euclidean distance or something else. So here the approximation concept come in the picture. Third type of curve is implicit. Third type of curve is the parametric curve. Now in the parametric curve, we have given some parameter. The equations are parameterized with some parameter. For example, when we write the curve equation at x is equals to r cos theta and y is equals to r sin theta, this is also the polar coordinates of the circle, where x is parameterized by r and theta and y is also parameterized by r and theta. So these type of equations are known as the parametric equation. So today we will study the Bezier curve, and Bezier curve is the type of this type of parametric equation. So before studying the Bezier curve, we are slightly moving towards what the polynomial is. A polynomial is a function that is the sum of the variables raised to the powers and multiply by some coefficients. For example, when we write I is equals to 0 to n ai xi is equals to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus dash 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 an xn, as you can see in the slide here. So this is the equation of a polynomial. Now when we say that what is the degree of the polynomial or what is the order of the polynomial, then we always go for the highest degree of the variable. Here the highest degree is n, so here this is the power nth polynomial, nth degree polynomial. Now when we write a equation as a0 plus a1x, this is called the linear polynomial, where a0 is nothing but the shift of the curve and a1 is the gradient of the curve, that is also known as the slope of the curve. So polynomial equations are given. Fx is equals to x plus 1, this is the linear type polynomial. Gx is equals to x square plus x plus 1 is the quadratic polynomial. Hx is equals to x cube plus x square plus x plus 1, this is the cubic polynomial. And Ix is equals to x to the power 4 plus x to the power 3 plus x to the power 2 plus x plus 1, this is the quartic polynomial. Now, one more property the polynomial exhibit. What that property is, the higher the degree of the polynomial is, the more in changes of the direction the polynomial has. Means when we say that this is a straight line, this is the equation of the linear curve. This is a linear curve. And in this linear curve, you can see that there is no change in direction. What is the direction of the curve? There is no changes. This is the quadratic polynomial. You can see that there is one change in direction. First, it is negative sloped, and after that, this is positively sloped. Again, you can see this is the cubic polynomial, equation of the cubic polynomial. There are three changes in direction. First is positively sloped, second one is negatively sloped, and third one is the positively sloped. So this is what, this is two changes in direction, and this is the quartic equation. And in quartic equation there are three changes in direction: first, second, third, three changes in direction, and four changes in slopes. So this is what, this is the property of the polynomial. Now when we talk about the linear line, that is the linear curve, that is the line, simple straight line, then a straight line can be parameterized by this equation: xt is equals to 1 minus t x naught plus t x1, and yt is equals to 1 minus t y naught plus t y1, where t can vary from 0 to 1. Now when the value of t is 0, means we are talking about point p naught, means one first end point. When t is equals to 1, then we are talking about second end point, and when t is equals to half, we are talking about the middle of the straight line. So how this can be justified? How this t justify this equation? T is equals to 0. When t is equals to 0, this will be 0 and this will be 0. So this term will be completely 0. Again, this term will be completely 0, and here will only x naught and y naught. So x has the full contribution of x naught and y has the full contribution of y naught. There is no contribution of x1 here. Again, when t is equals to 1, you can say that this term will be 0 and this term will be 0, but this will be x1 and y1. So x is equals to x1 and y is equals to y1. So when t is equals to 1, this point has full contribution in determining x and y. But when t is equals to half, you will see that x is equals to x naught by 2 and x1 by 2, and y is equals to y naught by 2 and y1 by 2. So you can say that when t is equals to half, there is half contribution of both the points in determining the x and y value at t is equals to half. So what we are concluding here, that whenever we have to calculate a point on the straight line, we have to, there is always the contribution of the both endpoints. So what we can write this in the combined form, that pt is equals to 1 minus t p naught plus t p1. Again, the same thing I've written here. This is the parametric equation of a straight line. And this instance is showing that how when t is equals to 0, pt will be p naught. Now in this scenario, when t is equals to 0.25, obviously this point is nearer to p naught. So the contribution of p naught in determining the value of x at t is equals to 0.25 will be more as compared to p1. So x naught and y naught has more contribution as compared to x1 and y1. Similarly, when t is equals to 0.5, both p naught and p1 have the half contribution. in calculating the value of x and y at t is equals to 0.5. Again, when t is equals to 0.75, the P1 has more contribution as compared to P0 in order to calculate the value of x and y as t is equals to 0.75. And when t is equals to 1, the P1 has the full contribution in order to calculate the value of x and y at t is equals to 1, but P0 has no contribution. So this is the parametric equation of a straight line. Now what the Bezier curve is? Bezier curve is a parametric curve that is used to draw smooth lines. This is named after Pierre Bezier, who used the Bezier curve for designing cars at Renault. And it is invented by Paul de Casteljau 3 years earlier when Bezier used this curve for designing the car. Now the most common application of the Bezier curve in CAD softwares where the modeling designing is done, 3D modeling softwares and typefaces. Now this is one of the more important point that an n degree Bezier curve is defined by n plus 1 control point. So n plus 1 control points are needed in order to draw n degree Bezier curve. So for example, if we have 4 points, we can draw the 3 degree Bezier curve. If we have the 5 point, we can draw the 4 degree Bezier curve, and so on and so forth. So Bezier curve is used to draw a typefaces. That this is a typeface. How the Bezier curve? This here is not a single Bezier curve. We have a collection of Bezier curve in order to draw the typefaces. Here you can see that this is first point and this is fourth point, and this is second and third point. Let's suppose this is a Bezier curve. Then this to draw this curve, what we are doing, these are the control points, 4 control points, and the Bezier curve is passing through the first and the last point. This is the half proportion of this S. This is the 1 ratio of S, and this is the 0.5 ratio of this is the half proportion of this S. So these are showing the circle, red circles are showing the control points, and the blue lines are showing the Bezier curves. Blue curves are the Bezier curves. Deriving the quadratic Bezier curve. How to derive it? Let's suppose there are 3 control points P0, P1 and P2. As we have studied the property of the Bezier curve, with the help of the 3 control points, we can draw the quadratic Bezier curve. Now let's suppose Q0 is a point that lies on P0, P1. On this line P0, P1, the Q0 is lying, and on this line P1, P2, Q1 is lying. So Q0 and Q1 are 2 points that lies on P0, P1 and P1, P2 respectively. The points on the Bezier curve lies on the line Q0, Q1. So those are the points which lies on Q0 and Q1 are the points of the Bezier curve. Means when we draw our line with the help of Q0 and Q1, let's suppose Q0 is on this point and Q1 is on this point. We are connecting both the points, we get a line. And all the lines, all the points that lies on these lines are helpful in drawing the Bezier curve. Now how this is done, let's see with the next slide. Let's suppose initially Q0 is at P0 and Q1 is at P1. So this, both the properties are satisfied that Q0 is at P0, P1. It is as P0 means this is on P0, P1 line. Okay. And this is at P1 means this is Q1 on P1 means Q1 is on P1, P2 line. Okay. Now the point on the basic, so initially what we are doing, we are just doing the black, giving the black color to this point. Yani Q0 is the black color. This is the point on the Bezier curve. Now I have told you the points on this line will be helpful in determining the points that lies on the Bezier curve. So first point of the Bezier curve is calculated here. Again, in the second scenario, we are shifting this Q0 by P0 with some parameter t is equals to 0.2 or 0.1, anything else. So when we are shifting this parameter, we have to shift accordingly Q1 from P1. Let this distance is 0.2, then this distance will be also 0.2, and the point will also be shifted from this point to 0.2. So this is the initial point of this line Q0 Q1, and the point on the Bezier curve will also shift by this point. So we already calculated the first point here and second point here. Again, after calculating the second point here, we again shift Q0 by the previous parameter t is equals to 0.2. So accordingly, the Q1 will also be shifted, and this curve, this point will also be shifted by t is equals to 0.2. Again, when fourth point will be calculated accordingly. When we come to this point, when P0, Q0 is the half at the middle of P0, P1, and Q1 is at the middle of P1, P2, then this point, this black point will also be in the middle of Q1, Q0 and Q1. In the figure, you can see that Q0 is at the middle of P0, P1, Q1 is the middle of P1, P2. So this black point will be middle of Q0 and Q1. This is the property of this Bezier curve. And after the completion of the whole point, we'll get some black points in such a way, in this way. And when we connect these points, we get the Bezier curve. This is the Bezier curve. So how to find the equation of this curve? So in order to find the equation of this curve, I have already told you that Q0 is a point that lies on P0, P1. So in order to calculate Q0, what we write, we'll write 1 minus T P0 and T P1, because this Q0 lies on this P0 and P1. Then to calculate Q0, we have to use this parametric equation. And Qn will be calculated 1 minus T P1 plus T P2. So these are the equations. Now Ct is the point on the Bezier curve on the line Q0, Q1. Ct is nothing but those black points that are with the help of the points we draw the Bezier curve. So this Ct is the point on the Bezier curve, and this point are determined with the help of what? Q0 and Q1 point. So this is the Q0, Q1 point. So this equation can be written as Ct is equals to 1 minus T Q0 plus T Q1. Combining these both equations, when we calculate Ct in terms of P0, P1 and P2, we will get this equation. Now substitute Q0 here and substitute Q1 here, and we will get this equation. Okay. So this derivation is according to de Castelnau's algorithm. So what this de Castelnau's algorithm says, let Pij denote the control points. Pij are the control points. Control points are three types. First are the red colored, blue colored, and black colored. We have already shown in the figure. So Pi0 are those control points that are original control points. P0, P1, and P2. That is P0 to P2. Pi1 are the control points from Q0 to Q1. We have also considered Q0, Q1. So these are those control points that are indicated by blue color. And P02, that is Pi2, are CT, and these are those points that are for drawing the Bezier curve. So we can write Pij is equals to 1 minus T Pij minus 1 and T Pi plus 1 j minus 1. Pij depends on the points. According to this equation, you can see that Pij depends on Pi comma j minus 1 and Pi plus 1 comma j minus 1. So there are two arrows. First is the horizontal arrow and second one is the diagonal arrow. This horizontal arrow indicates the 1 minus T coefficient, and this diagonal arrow represents the T coefficient. So we will get this equation from this representation. So according to de Castel-Jauss algorithm, what we are getting, these are the control points, and with these control points we will get these points, and at the middle of these point we'll get this point. So P0 and P1, P00 and P01, the middle of this will be P01. P10 and P20, the middle of this will be P11, and the middle of P01 and P11 will be P02, and we can draw this line from this. So the cubic Bezier curve will be of the equation like this. Here are four control points: P00, P01, P10, P20, and P30. So when we calculate this cubic Bezier curve, we will get 1 minus T the cube P00 plus 3T 1 minus T square P10 plus 3T square 1 minus T P20 and T cube P30. So these are the equations. There are four control points. This is the middle of P01 is the middle of P00 and P10. P11 is the middle of P10 and P20, and P21 is the middle of P20 and P30. Again, the middle of this will be P02 and P12, and again the middle of this will be P03. And with the help of these points, we can draw the curve. So degree n Bezier curve is of the equation Ct is equals to summation of I is equals to 1 to n Bint and Pi, where Bint is nothing but the Bernstein polynomial. Now Bernstein polynomial can be expressed in the form of this: Bint is equals to NCI Ti bracket में 1 minus T n minus I, the power n minus I. So this is nothing but the compact form of the previous equations we have given. Two equations we have given for the quadratic Bezier curve and the cubic Bezier curve. This is nothing but the generalized form. So this Bernstein polynomial will be expressed in form of this, where n choose I is nothing but the binomial coefficients. So n choose I can be calculated as factorial n upon factorial I into factorial n minus I. And this can be calculated with the help of Pascal's triangle. When n is equals to 0, there will be single value 1. When n is equals to 1, there will be two values 1 and 1. When n is equals to 2, we have 1 2 1. When n is equals to 3, 1 3 3 1. And when n is equals to 4, 1 4 6 4 1. Now this 6 can be calculated with the help of above two values, that is 3 and 3. This 4 can be calculated with the above two values 1 and 3. This 4 can be calculated with the help of above two values, that is 3 and 1. So what is this? This is nothing but a triangle form. You are drawing a triangle and you are calculating the value. So with the help of the Pascal's triangle, we can calculate the binomial coefficients. Cubic Bernstein polynomial, as I have told you, that BI t equals to n choose I t to the power I 1 minus t to the power n minus I. So whatever we have written in the cubic polynomial previously, this Bernstein polynomial gives the same thing. Here P03 is nothing but 1 minus t ka cube, where B13t is nothing but 3t 1 minus t ka square, B23t nothing but 3t square 1 minus t, and B33t is nothing but t cube. This is called the Bernstein polynomial. So the behavior of Bernstein polynomial is given as like this. This is nothing but the first term of the Bernstein polynomial. This is the second term of the Bernstein polynomial, and this is the third term of the Bernstein polynomial. And this is nothing but the graph on two axes. First one is t, which can vary from 0 to 1, and this is Bij. So when t is equals to 0, the proportion of the contribution of Bij, the first term has the full contribution. That is, B0 to t has the full contribution in the calculated determining value of x and y, but this is no contribution. When t is equals to 1, the last term of the Bernstein polynomial have the full contribution, but the first two term has less contribution. And in between, when t is equals to 0.2, then B02 has contribution of approximate 0.65, B12 has the approximation of 0.35, and 0.2 on 0.2 the approximation of the contribution of B22 is something 0.005 approx. I don't know whatever the value here will be, but this is less than 0.2. Again, at any t we can calculate that what is the contribution. As the t increases, the contribution of the lesser terms increase, while the contribution of previous terms decrease. And at last, the contribution of, there is only the contribution of last term, but there is no contribution of first and previous terms. Similarly, this is the behavior of the Bernstein polynomial of the cubic Bezier curve. So when t is equals to 0, first term has full contribution. When t is equals to 1, the last term has full contribution, and in between there is some event of 0.5, then first and last has equal contribution but less, and second and third has equal contribution, but as compared to, because when there are 4 points and the point is in between that point, that 4 points, obviously this point is nearer to second and third. So the contribution of second and third polynomial will be more, but first and fourth polynomial will be less. So this is what the behavior of the Bernstein polynomial. We can express the Bezier curve in matrix form. Now, matrix representation is important in computer graphics because it saves the computational efforts. So when we express this CT, that is the point on the Bezier curve, in the form of the matrix. So this is what P0, P1, and Pn. This is the control points, and this is M. M is nothing but the binomial coefficients. I will show you that what this M is. This is the Bezier matrix, and this is the degree of the polynomial you wants to calculate. This M is nothing but n plus 1 cross n plus 1 matrix. So when as we previously we have written some equation that Ct is equals to 1 minus t square p naught plus 2t 1 minus t p1 and t square p2. When we expand this, we get this term. So p0, p1 and p2 will be written here. And when we see here that t square has 1 minus 2 and 1, this is first value, minus 2, 2 and 0, this is second row, and this is 1, 0 and 0, this is third row. This is the expression of the Bezier matrix into the form of the matrix, Bezier curve into the form of the matrix. Again, we have already written some expression of the cubic Bezier curve previously. You can see here, this is the curve equation for the cubic Bezier curve, 1 minus t to the power 3 p00 p11. When we expand this curve, we will get the equation in the form of this: 1 minus 1 3 minus 3 1 3 minus 6 3 0 minus 3 3 0 0 1 0 0 0. Now this will be constant for all type of cubic polynomials, cubic Bezier curves. This will be constant for all type of quadratic Bezier curve. What will change? This will be changed, and this change will change the point. So when the control points are changes, the Bezier curve will also change accordingly. We will see later that how this statement what I have given here will be justified. First of all, we will study some properties of the Bezier curve. Now, first, a Bezier curve begins at point P0 and ends at point Pn. Okay, whatever the control points given, the Bezier curve will start with point P0 and end with point Pn. The Bezier curve is a straight line. Bezier curve can be also a straight line if and only if we can draw the straight line through all the control points. If we have given a control point and we can draw a straight line with the help of these control points, then the Bezier curve will be also the straight line. The start and end of the Bezier curve is tangential to start and the end section of the control point. For example, you can see here that this curve is tangent to this line, that is P0 and P1, and this curve is tangent to this P0 and P1. Again, P2 and P3, this curve is also tangent on this. So the last section of the start and end section of the control polygon, this curve will always be tangent of this. So when we can calculate the gradient value of P0 and P1, and you find the value of this slope as P0 and this gradient, and this both will be equal. So this is nothing but the tangent to this value. So when we differentiate this, you'll always get the same value. So this is nothing but the tangent here, and you can calculate the tangent as well. A Bezier curve can be split into the two Bezier curves. There is no when there is a single Bezier curve, this is not possible that this is made with a single iteration. It can be made with the various iterations also. So a Bezier curve can be split into two Bezier curve. A Bezier curve is contained within its control polygon. Now this is the control polygon you can see here, and this Bezier curve lies in this control polygon only. It cannot exceed the boundary of this. This is known as the convex hull property. Now you can see that there are four control points. There are different cubic Bezier curves, and this differentiation is due to the control point changes their position. So there are four control points, and the Bezier curve is drawn in such a way. There are four different control points. The Bezier curve is drawn in such a way. There are four another control points. The Bezier curve is drawn in such a way, and there are four another control points. The Bezier curve is drawn in such a way. So now I will give the assignment on this Bezier curve to all the students, and the students are required to submit the assignment on time. Thank you.